But what was the intent of the player? And that helps you with the shape. Need to see it again. Anyway, we've got the first semi-final in the under 100 kilo category here. Sergei Samoilovich of Russia, another fighter who could count himself unlucky not to be in London, not least of all because he's ranked number 2 in the world. How does that happen?
Well, you see, this is one thing that was discussed actually at the IJF convocation, was how many players do you allow? And with the Olympic
What, you mean
Games,
in Olympics?
Yeah, well, I don't think they don't have a possibility.
Yeah, there's one.
There's only the one.
Yeah.
But then the qualifications, they lend themselves to a different game.
Yeah.
So, you know, it depends on the philosophy and the ethos that you're putting forward. Are you looking for the best of the best, or are you looking to include as many countries as you can?
Samoilovich's opponent is Kobayashi Daisuke of Japan. Samoilovich in the white judogi and Kobayashi in blue. The conundrum that Nicky Adams was talking about with regard to the numbers of fighters and the makeup at an Olympic Games is kind of dictated to us somewhat by the conditions set by the IOC. And once they give us that number, then we try and divide that up as fairly as we possibly can, meeting 3 different sets of criteria. One is the quality, so we want the highest quality fighters there. We then 2 try to include as many countries as possible, giving as wide a spread as possible. Then 3 places to those countries that don't fit in those 2, that really come under the heading of developing, either haven't been at a games before or narrowly missed out on qualification and they've only got 1 fighter, you know, that kind of thing. And we get 20 of those places. They come under the heading of tripartite places, and the IOC decides who gets those along with the international governing body. This time round, I think it was a reasonably good mix, not least of all because they wanted to try and increase the spread of countries that came along. We ended up having high quality fighters because of the world ranking list, and it was nice and deep. 22 fighters from the men's division of 14. There could be a realignment afterwards because nobody outside the top 22 men got a medal. No. Whereas women outside the top 14 medalled, so you could say, okay, let's go 2016. So just bring it a little bit closer. I'm not sure what you think about that.
I think the summer games, it's always much more difficult in the summer games because there's more sports, so many more athletes. With the winter games, they've got a bit more leeway there, and as they have a shorter list of sports to choose from.
Samoilovich and Kobayashi are in exactly the same boat here. Kobayashi, no, because he did fight, but Samoilovich got all the way through to the semi-final because Valam Lipatiliani pulled out, so he would have had a quarter-final match-up with the Georgian fighting up from 90 kilos to 100, but for whatever reason Lipatiliani wasn't around. But Kobayashi had already beaten out Martin Pacek this morning, and Yannick Dumena of Cameroon. Both of those he threw for Ippon. The first one with Uchimata, and then the second one with a really nice Ochigari flattened Pacek, if truth be told.
I always like that about men's judo.
He really did, flattened him. No, so I'm not being disparaging to him, it's just that's what happened.
Ooh, right. I got the first penalty. I like his pace here. I like, even though he hasn't had a first fight, he's coming in.
Samoilovich has got nice footwork as well. In fact, from time to time, he has his foot bandaged up.
You'd never see that in women's judo.
He probably realised that he'd given him just that little bit of a harder tap than he intended. And he's a nice guy, Samoilovich. I felt a little bit sorry for him that he didn't get a shot at London 2012, not least of all because he's so highly rated.
Yeah.
But the guy that they sent got gold. What can you do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it kind of ends the conversation there,
yeah.
doesn't it? It's nice to. Ooh,
Ooh.
nice. It's nice to have that depth in your country that you can say, oh, the first three could have been, any three of them could have been Olympic champion.
What was that came out of his mouth? Got quite a whack there, and then something came flying out of his mouth. I thought it might have been a tooth or something. Mummy, look, we're on TV.
Yes.
No, I swear, Mum, we were.
Yeah, I was there.
A little bit slow to look up, Mum.
Oh,
yes!
Started inside.
He didn't stop, did he?
No.
You know, and
Full
even
commitment.
in the middle, it changed. In the middle of the throw, he actually changed the shape of the technique. He's worried about.
He's got a bloody nose, maybe.
He may have had a tooth knocked out. Something came out.
Ew.
We'll pass just in case anyone's having lunch. Yeah. Samoilovich it is who wins it.
Well, I'm looking forward to that
And,
replay. That's
yeah,
fabulous.
Yeah. Let's see if we can do that old game, name that technique. We know zip on. We just need to decide how we're gonna name it.
Here we go.
Oh, you could call Makikomi, couldn't you? Wraps the arm up in the end, and he goes over. He goes over in a slightly different shape because he takes him over that side of the body.
I'd say that, yeah.
Yeah,
Sort of Makikomi, yeah. I'll agree. I'll back you.
Nice one. You'd normally be taking the other arm, wouldn't you? This is so strange. Look. Can't see the arms here.
But if you saw the gripping exchange in the beginning, we were talking about it a lot with Neil all day yesterday. It was about positive grip versus negative gripping. And it shows that, you know, you can break off, but then are you breaking off the grip in order to line up your throw and get your positioning and get your